In 1993, a stunning 18-year-old Jamaican girl stood trembling on a global stage as a crown was placed on her head. 30 years later, that same woman would nearly lead Jamaica's second-largest political party after transforming herself from beauty queen to formidable political force. How does someone reinvent themselves so completely? Today, we're diving into the extraordinary journey of Lisa Hanna, a woman who refused to let society's expectations define her limits. What she did next will change how you think about second acts in life. Welcome back to Transformative Stories, where we explore the journeys of remarkable individuals who've redefined what's possible. Before we dive into Lisa Hanna's incredible life path, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. Only 35% of our viewers are actually subscribed. Hit that button now to never miss our weekly profiles of game changers from around the world. And leave a comment below sharing who you think we should feature next. Now, let's travel to Jamaica to uncover how a teenage beauty queen transformed herself into one of the Caribbean's most influential political voices. Lisa Renee Shaney Hanna was born August 20, 1975, in the parish of St. Andrew, Jamaica. From her earliest days, it was clear she possessed both intelligence and charisma in abundance. Those who knew her as a child speak of her natural leadership abilities and determination. Her education began at Immaculate Preparatory School before she moved on to Queen's School, one of Jamaica's most prestigious educational institutions. There, her exceptional qualities earned her the position of head girl, an early indication of the leadership roles that would define her future. But what truly set young Lisa apart was her early recognition by international organizations. While still a student, she was appointed as a Goodwill Ambassador by the United Nations Development Program, making her one of the youngest people ever to receive such an honor. This remarkable achievement foreshadowed how Lisa would consistently break barriers throughout her life. Her academic pursuits continued at the University of the West Indies, where she earned not just a bachelor's degree, but also a master's in communications. This educational foundation would prove invaluable for her future careers in both media and public service, equipping her with the communication skills needed to connect with audiences across social divides. What many don't realize is that Lisa was already developing her passion for social causes as a teenager. Long before political office or fame, she was drawn to helping Jamaica's most vulnerable populations. This wasn't calculated career positioning, it was an authentic expression of her character that would remain consistent throughout her life's many transformations. November 27, 1993, marked the pivotal moment when Lisa Hanna's life changed forever. At South Africa's Sun City Resort, an 18-year-old Lisa competed against 80 contestants from around the world in the Miss World pageant. The competition was particularly significant, taking place in a South Africa still emerging from apartheid. Standing 5'7" inches with captivating brown eyes, Lisa didn't just showcase physical beauty. Judges and audience members were equally impressed by her intelligence, poise, and the natural warmth that seemed to radiate from her. When her name was announced as the winner, Jamaica erupted in celebration. Lisa became only the third Jamaican to wear the coveted Miss World crown, following Cindy Breakspear 1976 and Carol Crawford 1963. But what made her victory especially meaningful was how she used this platform. Rather than treating the title as merely an achievement, Lisa approached it as a responsibility and opportunity. During her reign, she traveled extensively, participating in humanitarian work that aligned with her personal values. While many beauty queens focus solely on appearances, Lisa demonstrated substance and commitment to causes larger than herself. She advocated for education initiatives and worked with children's charities, establishing patterns of service that would define her later career. What's particularly noteworthy is how Lisa navigated the potential limitations of being labeled just a beauty queen. In an industry often criticized for superficiality, she consistently demonstrated depth of character and intellectual curiosity. These qualities would prove essential when she eventually decided to enter the considerably less glamorous world of politics. The Miss World title opened doors, but it was Lisa's strategic approach to her opportunities that set the stage for her remarkable evolution. Rather than allowing herself to be pigeonholed, she used this platform to build meaningful connections and demonstrate her capacity for leadership beyond the pageant stage. After completing her reign as Miss World, Lisa made a significant career choice that would build on her communication skills while keeping her in the public eye. She entered broadcast journalism, becoming a television host and reporter. This media career served as a crucial bridge between her pageant days and political future. As a journalist, she developed deeper insights into Jamaican society and the challenges facing various communities. She honed her ability to communicate complex ideas clearly and persuasively, skills that would prove invaluable in politics. Moreover, working in media allowed Lisa to maintain public visibility while establishing herself as a serious professional beyond her beauty queen title. She covered substantive issues, conducted interviews with key figures, and demonstrated intellectual depth that contradicted any lingering stereotypes from her pageant days. During this period, Lisa also expanded her business acumen. Though less known than her other endeavors, her role as director of I-Ford Logistics, Jamaica's premier value-added agriculture and food processing facility, demonstrated her interest in practical economic development and food security. This hands-on experience with Jamaica's agricultural sector would inform her later policy positions regarding economic development and rural opportunity. What makes Lisa's career trajectory particularly impressive is how deliberately she seemed to acquire the varied experiences and skills that would make her effective in public service. Whether consciously planned or naturally evolved, each phase of her professional life built upon previous experiences while expanding her expertise and credibility. Lisa Hanna's entry into Jamaican politics marked the beginning of her most significant transformation. Joining the People's National Party (PNP), one of Jamaica's two major political organizations, she took on the challenge of electoral politics by running for the parliamentary seat representing St. Anne Southeast. Her 2007 victory was remarkable for someone relatively new to politics, but it wasn't mere celebrity that carried her to office. Lisa demonstrated genuine understanding of constituent concerns and articulated clear visions for community development. She approached campaigning with the same discipline and determination that had characterized her earlier achievements. As a parliamentarian, Lisa quickly distinguished herself as more than a famous face. She mastered legislative procedures, participated substantively in debates, and advocated effectively for her constituents. Those who might have expected superficial engagement were confronted instead with a thoughtful, prepared legislator committed to meaningful action. Her political rise accelerated in 2012, when she was appointed Minister of Youth and Culture in Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller's government. This portfolio perfectly aligned with Lisa's long-standing interests and allowed her to shape policy affecting Jamaica's cultural heritage and young people's opportunities. As minister, she championed several signature initiatives, expanding youth entrepreneurship programs, strengthening cultural institutions, advocating for Jamaica's creative industries on international stages, working to preserve traditional Jamaican cultural practices. What made Lisa particularly effective was her ability to connect policy to people. She didn't approach her ministerial role as merely administrative. She brought passion and personal commitment to issues affecting young Jamaicans and the country's cultural development. For over 15 years, she represented her constituency with a dedication that transformed any lingering skepticism about her commitment to public service. Her longevity in what can be a brutally demanding profession spoke volumes about both her resilience and her genuine desire to effect positive change through political action. The 2020 general election dealt a significant blow to the People's National Party, leading to the resignation of party president and opposition leader Peter Phillips. In this moment of party crisis, Lisa Hanna made her boldest political move yet, announcing her candidacy for party leadership. This wasn't a symbolic run or token effort. Lisa mounted a serious campaign that energized many within the PNP, particularly younger members, and those seeking fresh approaches to the party's challenges. Her campaign emphasized innovation, inclusivity, and reconnection with Jamaican voters who had drifted away from the party. The leadership election proved extraordinarily close. Mark Golding eventually prevailed with 1,740 votes to Lisa's 1,444 most, a difference of just 296 votes. This narrow margin demonstrated the substantial support Lisa had cultivated within party ranks and confirmed her status as a major political figure, regardless of the outcome. What's most revealing about this leadership bid wasn't the result, but how Lisa conducted herself throughout. She ran a substantive campaign focused on ideas rather than personality, demonstrated grace under pressure, and maintained party unity despite the intense competition. After the results, she supported the new leadership while continuing to advocate for the renewal she believed essential to the party's future. This leadership contest represented the culmination of Lisa's remarkable transformation from beauty queen to potential national leader. The fact that she came so close to leading one of Jamaica's dominant political parties testified to her growth, perseverance, and impact on Jamaican political life. Beyond electoral politics, Lisa Hanna distinguished herself through consistent advocacy for several key issues. Her policy priorities reveal a coherent worldview focused on empowerment, opportunity, and cultural pride. Throughout her political career, she remained a passionate champion for marginalized communities, with particular focus on women's empowerment and youth development. These weren't mere talking points, but deeply held commitments reflected in both her legislative work and community engagement. Economic policy represents another area where Lisa made significant contributions. She advocated consistently for expanding Jamaica's export of value-added goods and services, recognizing this as crucial for reducing income inequality. Her approach to economic development emphasized sustainability and broad-based opportunity rather than concentrated wealth. As Minister of Youth and Culture, Lisa positioned Jamaican cultural heritage as both intrinsically valuable and economically significant. She worked to strengthen institutions preserving traditional practices while simultaneously promoting Jamaican creative industries internationally. Environmental concerns also featured prominently in her advocacy, with particular attention to how climate change impacts Caribbean nations. She articulated connections between environmental sustainability, economic development, and social justice. What unified these varied policy interests was a consistent vision of a more equitable, sustainable Jamaica, where opportunity wasn't limited by background, gender, or geography. Her advocacy demonstrated both principled commitment and practical understanding of implementation challenges. Behind the political figure, Lisa Hanna maintained a strong public presence that combined authenticity with strategic communication. Her social media accounts reveal a multidimensional person, balancing public responsibilities with personal passions. Fitness remained a lifelong commitment, with Lisa practicing weight training since her youth. This dedication to physical discipline mirrors her approach to professional challenges. Consistent effort yielding impressive results, her public image evolved in fascinating ways throughout her career. Initially famous primarily for her beauty, Lisa systematically demonstrated intellectual depth, policy expertise, and political skill, until her appearance became merely one aspect of a complex public identity. What's particularly notable is how she navigated the intense scrutiny faced by female politicians generally, and former beauty queens specifically. Rather than allowing others to define her, Lisa consistently shaped her own narrative through substantive engagement with serious issues. Throughout her time in public life, she maintained connections to her rural constituency, while simultaneously representing Jamaica on international stages. This ability to move effectively between local and global contexts distinguished her approach and expanded her influence. In 2022, Lisa Hanna made another significant decision, announcing she would not stand in the next general election. This choice wasn't made lightly, but reflected her belief in creating space for new leadership and her desire to contribute to Jamaica through different channels. In her announcement, she emphasized her continued commitment to public service, while acknowledging the need for generational transition within Jamaican politics. Rather than clinging to position, she demonstrated the same forward-thinking perspective that had characterized her earlier career transitions. Lisa's legacy in Jamaican politics extends far beyond any single achievement. She fundamentally expanded perceptions of what's possible, proving that authentic reinvention can overcome even the most limiting stereotypes. For young women in particular, her journey from beauty queen to respected political leader provided a powerful example of defining oneself beyond initial categorizations. Her policy contributions in youth development, cultural preservation, and economic opportunity continue influencing Jamaican approaches to these crucial issues. More subtly, but perhaps more importantly, her presence in Jamaican political life helped normalize women's leadership in a system historically dominated by men. Lisa Hanna's journey from teenage beauty queen to parliamentary powerhouse represents far more than personal ambition. It demonstrates how talent, determination, and strategic vision can overcome limiting expectations and transform not just individual lives, but broader societal perceptions. What makes her story particularly meaningful is how each phase built upon previous experiences, rather than rejecting them. She never denied her beauty queen past, but instead incorporated those communication skills and global experiences into her evolving identity as a public servant. Her career reminds us that transformation isn't about erasing past identities, but about growing beyond initial limitations. The discipline that helped her succeed in pageants served her equally well in Parliament. The communication skills that captivated judges proved essential for connecting with constituents and colleagues. In an era often defined by cynicism about politics, Lisa Hanna's journey offers something refreshingly different, a story of authentic public service motivated by genuine concern for community welfare, rather than mere personal advancement. If Lisa Hanna's remarkable transformation from beauty queen to political force has inspired you, make sure you're not missing our weekly profiles of game changers. Hit subscribe now and tap that notification bell. Want more stories of extraordinary reinvention? Our playlist Unexpected Second Acts features dozens more individuals who completely transformed their lives and legacies. Click the card appearing now to dive deeper. And finally, tell us in the comments, what public figure would you like to see profiled next on Transformative Stories?